Arrowroot. It's on our list of VIP perennials. It's one of the first plants that you put in. You put it in on the windy side, so the wind, like in here, it's mostly the southeast. So you put it on that border so that the wind doesn't blow the seeds into your garden. And also it just helps to block the wind, and plants grow better when they don't have a lot of wind. It gets a red flower. It's closely related to the candy lily, which looks just like this, but it's a feral weed down south. I won't talk about that one anyway, but this, you can wrap food in the leaf to bake in the coals, and you can eat the tuber. The tuber I've found is very similar to a water chestnut because it's crunchy and it absorbs flavors like garlic and ginger. So if you skin it and cut it up really fine, and then put it in a stir fry or whatever, it's just like water chestnuts. But you can also roast it like a potato, and it's pretty nice, not too bad. It's a survival food, you know, like for instance, the economy's collapsed. There's no food in the shops. This is a survival food. It's full of carbohydrates. In Ecuador, the candy lily, which is closely related to this one, is a main staple.
Oh yeah, that's when you get a nice new shoots, and actually I've had them almost the size of my foot, but big around like that. Become a nice big fat tuber. Really, really productive. You see billies, they're just good food source, and
But unlike potatoes, you can just take the side shoots off and let the rest of the plant live. You know, it's like annual, it's consistent immunity. It makes really good chips too. Like you can chop them up, and they're definitely more nutritious.
That's another one. You can dehydrate them and grind them into flour. I mean, you can buy it in the shop for and it's for thickening up soups and putting.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
that's what arrowroot biscuits are.
Yeah. I'd dehydrate them, just slice them really thin, put them in your dehydrator, then put them through your mincer, and you've got flour. And they're actually really nice that way.
You can just grate it over soups and stews to thicken it as well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Don't plant it anywhere where you can't manage it, because it does have the tendency to really get.
That's a good point, because a lot of people make that.
A lot.
Excellent chop and drop.
Excellent chop and drop.
Chooks like to leave, not just chop and
Yes.
drop. The chooks like to eat the leaves, like if you try handfuls.
Yeah.
And pigs.
The cows don't, for some reason.
Yeah.
Have you done it with pigs?
Isabel Shepherd says pig farmers used to grow it around the pig pens.
I've heard lots of that. When I kept pigs, they didn't really go for it.
They go for the tuber.
They obviously went for a lot of other things at my place instead of just that. They didn't like it so much.
But it's called Queensland arrowroot as well, because it was a commercial crop in Queensland in 1950s onwards.
How do you propagate it?
Just with the tubers.
Can you chop the tuber up into pieces like the concrete, or?
yeah, there's a new plant there.
Now you can't leave this out of the ground very long. You've got to whack it in, because it'll lose its vitality really quick.
So if you just plant it like this, I would plant it like that, because it's going to have a lot of energy coming from the sun to send down to the root system, and then you'll have a clump grow out of that.
Celery taro, or the Tahitian spinach. And yeah, we use this as a spinach. So yeah, using the stems and the leaf and stir fries, this has really good flavour. It just absorbs all the nice juices, and yeah, we use this pretty regularly actually for most of our cooking. And when it gets a bit big enough, you can use the corm as a taro. It's a beautiful taro. I've made some great dishes with the taro. Yeah.
Is there a plant that looks similar? I have one in the garden, but I don't know.
Yeah, so you know that this is an edible one because it has the leaf joins in the centre of the leaf, and it has that right angle bend to it.
There is another one that grows up here called Alephania or something. I think it's a common name, and that's not edible.
Conjugate. It's edible if you cook it for 48 hours.
Yeah, right.
Intensely.
But it doesn't have a right angle bend.
Celery taro.
It's a straight leaf, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a fantastic thing. Staple diet of New Guineans and Fijians, and then you can with the other types of taro, you can wrap rice dishes, rice and coconut milk up in it, and we've got a creek that runs all the time down behind my place, and it's always interesting between different uses that people have in it. The Fijians always seem to go to get the leaves to wrap up their rice dishes and don't worry about the tubers so much. and the New Guineans are going for the tubers and get some of the leaves, and a lot of the Murrays are just getting the tubers, and yeah, so they're in creeks and situations like that, if you're actually utilising it properly and making a big garden out of it, you're chopping off the tuber and you're planting the top into the bank as you go. You're establishing, and keeping those areas to be able to feed you later on and keep a continual feed going on.
Yeah, how do you propagate that one?
The taro. You don't need to get the tuber itself.
Okay.
You just cut it off that far down into the tuber and leave the leaf, and that's what you plant.
Okay.
There is one taro that doesn't have the oxalic acid, which is called dashin. You can actually eat that one raw, but all the rest of them, people have died. In fact, the elephant ear one has killed more people, I think, than any other plant in Australia, mostly children, because they have this myth in their head, and lots of adults have it as well. If something else is eating it, I can eat it. Wrong. So the children see that something's been nibbling on it, and they see that everyone eats green. So they take a bite. Tastes nice. Tastes like a nice greeny vegetable. But as soon as you swallow it, you're in big trouble. It's more, people die from shock. It's that painful.
Can you eat the leaves of this one raw?
Not raw.
Not raw.
It requires some minor cooking.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
Yeah, I'm actually a little bit confused because when I did buy it, how many leaves Jane, I got this thing that she did say you could eat this one raw, and we kind of have almost been eating it raw, and then we kind of got a little bit scared that we shouldn't, so we've been cooking it more.
But you've had no pain or...
No, I've never had any spiky tingling, so
better be safe than
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
yeah,
Till we see you next.
you'll soon know once it's got.
Yeah, you do. My experience with the taro in the creek especially is I've got a few other dryland varieties, but you really see it just coming into when it wants to grow, like you're looking at the ginger and the turmeric when it's got shoots on it and stuff. So normally after the storms and it's been washed downstream, it seems to be perfect timing with nature with what the requirements are. It gets washed out of being on the banks, goes down, and it's actually got heaps of little sprouts coming off a clump like basically on the bottom of that arrowroot, and you've got sprouts coming off of there like little knobs coming off there, and you can actually like miniature bulbs, so you can actually break them off, and you actually off one thing you can get sometimes like 20 or 30 off one bulb because it's ready to go, and as it goes past something it'll knock one of those bulbs off and establish itself anyway, and it's a perfect way of nature just of the timing. So when you're looking at when you should be planting something, that's the indicators that you should be looking for, is actually how it's doing it in nature. And so quite often I suggest to people around January, if you're planting it January, February, and it's ready to harvest around June, July, is it how it normally operates, and you can extend those periods obviously as well, but that's a standard sort of a process in my experience.
Good plant for your grey water and things like that.
Yeah.
Middle your banana circles, so you've got a sprinkler watering that area, and it's a lot more wetter than other areas.
Yeah, just talking back on the banana circle, we generally plant them out as a polyculture. So the taros, sweet potato around the edges, lemongrass, pawpaw and banana all condensed in one spot.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you plant them real thick, keeps the bandicoots out. And it's also important to, wherever you're at, like if you're in a rainforest, a lot of mulch is good. But in Koa, you've got to be careful, because if you put too much mulch on it, in a dry season like we're going to have now, that water can't get through the mulch. It absorbs all the moisture. So a lot of times I'll inherit gardens and they've mulched it right up, and it's really dry and it starts to rain. I'm running out there pulling all the mulch off, Let's talk about the papaya. The papaya is one of the first things I put in when I get somewhere, but you got to be really careful these days about the seeds you grow from. Like if you get it from that company Sadbury or whatever the name is, Skyberry, those are genetically modified seeds, and they'll only produce for a couple of years, and then they stop producing. So you've got to source good seed. And some papayas are, you got your male and your female. Some have the male and female on the same tree, and those are the ones I tend to plant. but also plant the males because the males have a lot of medicinal properties in the flower. 4 males. You can use the stem for a straw or a bush pipe. You've lost your pipe, don't have any rolling papers, you can use that. There's a lot of medicinal properties in the flower of the female and the male. I forget what they are, if somebody knows here, or you just punch it in on Tropical Database. I know the sap is really good for warts, like if you got a wart and you want to get rid of it, and you can consistently put the sap from the papaya tree on it. It's like the fig's the same. And you can get fruit in 1 year. Pineapple, banana, and papaya are all good companion plants in a swale.
With the stem, if you drink water through it, it's like an antibacterial filter. So you can drink slightly borderline water through the stem, and apparently it will aid in, purifying it for you. If you eat up to, I think it's up to 4 or 5 seeds a day, if you actually crush them up, they taste a bit rubbish. It's really good for your digestion system. But if you're a pregnant female, you've got to be very careful because it can, cause termination.
Yeah. So it's anti-worm.
Yeah, in your mouth, you actually got to chew them up. It's no good just having a pawpaw and swallow them. You actually got to, and you'll taste it. It goes just really. It's almost like the same flavour as nasturtium, but 3 times as strong. That peppery.
Yeah. So you can dry it and use it as pepper. Dry the seeds and use it as pepper. The leaves, so especially the new leaves on there, soaked and infused in hot water and let cool down is people are using for dengue fever.
Yeah, and also anti-malarial. Yeah, it's like for internal minute parasites. Yeah.
Antiviral.
So make a tea out of the leaf. Yeah.
If they get too tall for you to harvest the fruit, cut them down, put a tin can over that, and they'll sprout out. If you're in a colder climate, you can plant the mountain cocoa, barbados, or do you remember that? Do you know that one?
Tobacco.
Yeah. That's in the same family.
Yeah.
And it'll grow in high elevations and go down to pretty cold temperatures.
So I think it's a lot to do with that water you're drinking through the store is about the beneficial enzymes that are in that sap.
Yeah, right, yeah.
It could be a lot to do with that, helping your digestive processes be able to
Right,
deal with it, I think, as well.
deal with it, that's what it is.
It's that white sap in the green pawpaw, if you lower it away all right between meat.
Papain.
Yeah, it's a tenderizer, It'll actually make meat, if you leave it for too long, go like jelly, like butter. It'll just break down the enzymes in the meat structure amazingly. I've done it and done it too far. It actually makes it eating meat, tough piece of meat into butter.
Same as the fruit. If you blend the fruit and just like I've left it in the fridge, it goes like jelly. You take it out and it's like eating pawpaw jelly. It's got like it can even separate the fibre from the fruit and be a clear jelly as well and digestive.
The way of keeping trees from going up too high from cutting that traditionally, but a friend of mine actually is doing with a Balinese pawpaw she gave me, and it's purple stem on the trunk, and it's actually a really big fruit. And she's pruning the taproot before she plants out, because that's actually putting roots to go out sideways rather than going down, and so it's not going down and then up. It's
yeah, my friend's doing that in Potsdam in Cairns with the Balinese to make them dwarf. Exactly that same thing.
They stay nice and low and do that. Yeah.
Dig them up and then you cut the tap.
Well, if you put them in a pot, as you're transplanting them out of the pot, you cut that taproot out before you put them into the ground.
Here's a prime example of being way too high, but because we haven't had other fruiting pawpaw, we've left it and just made the effort to climb and get the pawpaws until the other ones develop, and then we'll cut that.
So the other way to pick it is on a stick. You actually can use like a soft drink bottle, which is like a funnel. You can go up and then you can twist it and haze it in the funnel and come down. The other thing, that when pawpaws are grown near house and near concrete, they actually really do really well, and they love the lime that they're extracting from the concrete. So if you want to do it outside and you have some concrete rubble around, it's always a good idea to throw a couple of pieces, crush it up and throw a few pieces around there. It doesn't like having wet feet, so if you have it on a little bit of a raised bed, it always makes a difference to them as well.